most dominant video sharing platform, YouTube. Today, YouTube feels as essential as electricity, a vast library of human knowledge, entertainment, and connection. It's where billions of hours of content are consumed monthly, where careers are launched, and where the pulse of global culture is often set. But to truly understand its impact, we must rewind the clock to a time before smartphones and high-speed internet were commonplace, back to the mid-2000s, a digital Wild West where video sharing was a fragmented, frustrating mess. Imagine trying to share a home video with friends in 2004. You'd have to compress a huge file, upload it painfully slowly to a personal server, and then hope your recipient had the right codec to even play it. Sharing video was not a social activity, it was a technical chore. This very friction created a massive opportunity, and in the heart of this chaos, YouTube was born. This first part of our series, the genesis and early years, will explore the foundational vision, the critical moment of its launch, and the exponential growth that led to its acquisition by a tech giant. 2.0, the founding trinity, PayPal's alumni visual, clean graphic or archival photo of Chad Hurley, Steve Chen, and Jawed Karim. The story of YouTube begins not in a corporate boardroom, but with three friends and former employees of the e-commerce giant PayPal. They were the perfect storm of design, engineering, and entrepreneurial drive. Chad Hurley, the design and interface specialist. Steve Chen, the chief technology officer and coding expert. Jawed Karim, the original conceptualizer and foundational engineer. They are often credited with forming the idea after a couple of key, frustrating experiences in early 2005. The first, famously, was at a dinner party hosted by Chen in San Francisco. They had trouble sharing video clips from the event digitally. The second, according to Karim, was the difficulty he had finding clips online of Janet Jackson's infamous wardrobe malfunction during the 2004 Super Bowl halftime show, and later, the devastating 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami. The core realization was simple yet revolutionary. There was no single, easy-to-use platform for people to upload, share, and find videos on the internet. On February 14, 2005, a date fittingly associated with sharing and connection, the domain name YouTube.com was registered. The initial concept was actually much narrower. Some early reports suggest it was originally envisioned as an online dating site where people could upload video introductions. However, the broader need for a general video platform quickly superseded this initial idea. 3.0, the minimalist design and core technology, visual. Early 2005 screenshot of the YouTube homepage, very basic, simple search bar, white space. In the spring of 2005, YouTube launched a basic prototype. Its genius lay in its simplicity and its mastery of two key technologies. The flash player advantage in the mid-2000s, video formats were complex and fragmented. You needed different players, plugins, and codecs, compression/decompression, depending on the file format. YouTube solved this technical headache by standardizing on Adobe Flash Player. Flash was a ubiquitous browser plugin, meaning almost everyone had it installed. By converting all uploaded videos into the Flash, FLV format, YouTube ensured that any user on any browser could instantly click and watch a video without worrying about compatibility issues. This single decision was perhaps the biggest catalyst for its initial growth, solving the fundamental friction point of online video viewing. By simplicity of upload, the site was designed for the average user, not the tech-savvy programmer. The upload process was streamlined. While it took a while on slower connections, the user interface was clear, intuitive, and required minimal technical knowledge. 4.0, the birth of a culture. Me at the Zoo, visual. The first YouTube video, Me at the Zoo, display the date and time. Every great platform needs a beginning, and YouTube's officially started with a 19-second video titled Me at the Zoo. Uploaded on April 23, 2005 by co-founder Jawed Karim, the video shows Karim standing in front of the elephant enclosure at the San Diego Zoo. He simply notes, The cool thing about these guys is that they have really, really, really long trunks, and that's cool. The video itself is unremarkable, but its historical significance is enormous. It wasn't a celebrity stunt, a professional production, or a political commentary. It was just a person with a cheap camera sharing a fleeting moment from their life. This video defined the platform's DNA. YouTube wasn't just for established media companies. It was for the individual. It democratized content creation, giving a voice and a potential global audience to anyone with a camera and an internet connection. 5.0, Early Virality and Rapid Growth, 2005 to 2006, Visual. Graph showing the exponential rise of YouTube users and views during 2005 to 2006. By the summer of 2005, YouTube was growing rapidly, fueled almost entirely by word of mouth. The media and public were beginning to notice the strange phenomenon of regular people becoming minor stars. Key viral moments, pre-Google, the Chinese vlogger 2006. Known as Backdoor Boys, this duo gained massive popularity for their lip-syncing videos. It was an early sign that content could transcend language barriers and that humor was a universal currency on the platform. The evolution of the music video. Though initially plagued by copyright issues, which we will cover in a later part, early uploads of music videos and fan-created tributes drove significant traffic. The public's use. People started using the platform for everything: how-to guides, educational content, pets doing funny things, and local news coverage. By July 2006, the platform reached an incredible milestone: 100 million video views per day, with over 65,000 new videos being uploaded daily. This was an astounding amount of data and traffic for a startup. 6.0, The Google Acquisition. A critical juncture, Visual, transition from the YouTube logo to the Google logo, symbolizing the merger. YouTube's explosive growth created two major problems: bandwidth costs. Streaming millions of videos daily was incredibly expensive, costing the company millions of dollars annually. They were spending money faster than they could raise it. Copyright issues. Major media companies, like Viacom, Warner Music, etc., were furious that their copyrighted material was being shared freely without their permission. Lawsuits loomed large. The founders knew they needed massive infrastructure, legal protection, and capital. They needed a giant. That giant was Google. The deal, November 2006. In November 2006, Google announced it would acquire YouTube for a staggering $1.65 billion in an all-stock deal. At the time, it was an incredibly bold and highly scrutinized move, especially since YouTube was not yet profitable. Why Google bought it? Dominance in search. Google wanted to dominate all forms of online content, and video was the last frontier. They realized that if they couldn't beat YouTube, they had to own it. Traffic and user base. They gained immediate access to a massive, engaged global audience. Future-proofing. Google correctly predicted that the internet was fundamentally shifting from text-based search to rich media. The acquisition was the moment YouTube went from a successful startup to a global powerhouse. Google provided the necessary funding to cover the enormous bandwidth costs and the legal shield required to negotiate with media companies, paving the way for the platform's long-term sustainability. 7.0, Conclusion of Part 1, Visual, a concluding shot of the modern YouTube logo. The first year and a half of YouTube's existence was defined by a simple, elegant idea: make sharing video easy. From a small office above a pizza shop in San Mateo, California, the platform solved the codec problem, embraced the individual creator, and scaled so fast that it forced the hand of one of the world's largest tech companies. The story doesn't end here. The Google acquisition of 2006 marked the end of the beginning. The following years would bring about the most transformative changes: the creation of the YouTube Partner Program, the rise of the first generation of YouTubers, the launch of HD video, and the battle for copyright integrity. Comprehensive deep dive into the history of YouTube. In Part 1, we saw how Chad Hurley, Steve Chen, and Jawed Karim solved the technical problem of sharing video, leading to the massive $1.65 billion acquisition by Google in 2006. The acquisition was merely the foundation. The years that followed, from 2007 to 2012, were arguably the most crucial in establishing YouTube as an economic engine. Google's investment transformed the platform, shifting it from a place where people uploaded random home clips to a place where people built careers. This era is defined by two major themes: monetization and the relentless pursuit of professionalism and copyright stability. 2.0. The genesis of the YouTube Partner Program, IP Visual, a graphic illustrating the money flow. Advertiser /writer Google /writer YouTube /writer creator. The biggest question facing YouTube post-acquisition was, how do we pay for all this bandwidth? The answer was advertising. But to make advertising work, Google needed to attract serious creators who would consistently upload high-quality, non-copyright infringing content. In 2007, YouTube launched the YouTube Partner Program, IP. This was a game-changing moment. The core deal, before YPP, only YouTube made money. After YPP, YouTube agreed to share the revenue generated from ads placed before, during, or after a creator's video. While the specific percentage is private, the widely accepted split is a 55-45 ratio, with the creator typically taking the 55% share of the ad revenue. Democratization of income. The YPP was revolutionary because it was democratized. Unlike traditional media, where you needed a network, an agent, or a huge budget to make money from content, YPP allowed anyone, a teenager in their bedroom, a teacher in a classroom, or a niche hobbyist, to earn money simply by meeting the quality standards and generating views. This instantly incentivized consistency and quality. 3.0. The rise of the first YouTube stars visual. Archival clip stills of early major creators like Jenna Marbles, Shane Dawson, Smosh, and PewDiePie. The Partner Program ignited a creative boom. For the first time, people realized that their hobby could become their job. This period saw the rise of the first generation of true YouTubers, who built huge audiences by being authentic, raw, and relatable. A stark contrast to polished TV stars, Smosh comedy. Anthony Padilla and Ian Heckox became early pioneers of sketch comedy on the platform. Ray William Johnson, commentary. His Equals 3 series was one of the first channels to consistently hit massive view counts by reacting to and curating viral content. Felix Kjellberg, PewDiePie. While his major growth came slightly later, the foundation was built in this era. He proved that an individual playing video games and offering commentary could command a global audience. The MCN boom. The success of these early stars led to the creation of multi-channel networks, MCNs like Machinima and Maker Studios. These companies signed thousands of channels, handling ad sales, production support, and rights management in exchange for a percentage of the channel's revenue. While MCNs had a mixed legacy, they formalized the industry and treated YouTube creators like marketable talent. 4.0, tackling the copyright crisis. Content ID visual. A diagram showing the content ID process. Copyright owner uploads a reference file /writer content. ID matches it /writer owner chooses to track, monetize, or block the infringing video. While YPP brought high-quality content, the platform still faced massive legal exposure due to copyrighted material uploaded by users. Major media companies were actively suing the platform. The biggest legal threat came from Viacom, which sought $1 billion in damages. Google's response was a massive technological investment in Content ID. Launched in 2007, how Content ID works. Copyright holders submit a digital fingerprint of their proprietary material, music, video clips, etc. to a massive database. When a user uploads a new video, Content ID scans it against the database. If a match is found, the copyright owner is given a choice: track. Just monitor the video's performance, monetize. place their own ads on the video and claim the revenue, allowing the video to stay up. Block. Take the video down globally or regionally. Content ID was a complex technological and legal solution that was essential to YouTube's survival. It transformed media companies from YouTube's enemies into its partners, as they realized they could now monetize unauthorized usage instead of just fighting it. 5.0. The technological leap. HD, mobile, and new interfaces. Visual. A graphic comparing a 360p video player to a modern HD 1080p player. The experience of using YouTube dramatically improved between 2008 and 2012. High definition, HD. In 2009, YouTube started rolling out 1080p HD support. This changed expectations. No longer were videos fuzzy, low-resolution streams. Creators were forced to upgrade their equipment, leading to an overall surge in production quality. Mobile revolution. The launch of the iPhone, 2007, and the rise of Android phones in this period were massive. YouTube smartly integrated with these devices, recognizing that future consumption would be on the go. By 2010, the official dedicated YouTube app for smartphones solidified its position as the premier mobile video viewing platform. Interface refinement. Google invested heavily in the site's design, moving away from the cluttered look to a cleaner, more organized interface designed around subscriptions and user recommendations. 6.0. Key product launches of the era, 2007 to 2012. Live streaming. 2011. Initially rolled out to select partners, the introduction of live streaming meant YouTube could compete with traditional television for real-time events. Pre-roll ads. The early implementation of video ads before the main content began, providing a much higher revenue stream than the simple banner ads of the past. First original content push. While not successful initially, Google began experimenting with funding original channels in 2012, spending $100 million to bring celebrities and established media brands onto the platform, aiming to compete with Netflix and cable networks. This marked the platform's first attempt to move beyond user-generated content and into professionally produced, exclusive shows. 7.0. Conclusion of Part 2. Visual. A concluding shot of a YouTube creator smiling at a camera in a dedicated studio. The years between 2007 and 2012 were the period of professionalization. Google provided the backbone, and the partner program provided the economic incentive. Content ID brought media companies on board, and the shift to HD and mobile ensured that the platform was future-proof. By the end of this period, the definition of a celebrity had fundamentally changed. An entire generation of creators proved that you didn't need Hollywood to build an empire. You just needed a camera, an internet connection, and access to the YouTube Partner Program. Video and Music FADAS. In Part 3, we will move into the modern era 2013 to 2018, where we will analyze the rise of the algorithm's dominance, the growth of global competition, the emergence of YouTube gaming and niche content empires, and the platform's first major controversies about how that money was distributed. The period from 2013 onward fundamentally changed the creator playbook, moving power away from the creator's direct control and into the hands of the all-powerful YouTube algorithm. Prior to this era, the algorithm largely favored clicks and views. The result was clickbait, misleading titles and thumbnails designed simply to get the user to open the video, regardless of content quality. The user experience suffered. In late 2012 and early 2013, YouTube made a massive strategic shift. The primary ranking signal became watch time. The logic. YouTube realized that what truly matters is user retention. If a user clicks a video and watches 10 minutes, that is far more valuable than a video with 1 million views where everyone clicks away after 10 seconds. The goal. The platform's objective simplified to keep viewers on YouTube for as long as possible so they could be served more ads. This shift rewarded longer, more engaging content, and pushed creators to become better storytellers and producers who could hold attention for the entire duration of the video. The era of low-effort clickbait began to decline, replaced by the demand for polished, binge-worthy content. 2.0, the algorithmic engine and hyperpersonalization, visual. A flowchart illustrating data input, watch history, likes, CTR leading to a personalized recommendation on the home page suggested videos. As the years progressed, especially around 2015 to 2016, the algorithm became incredibly sophisticated, moving beyond just raw watch time into hyperpersonalization using artificial intelligence, AI. The algorithm's job became to predict, at the exact moment a user logged in, which video they would most likely watch and, crucially, which video would lead them to watch a second video. Key ranking factors included performance data. This includes the click-through rate, CTR, from the thumbnail title, getting the user to click, and audience retention, keeping them watching. Personalized relevance. Analyzing a user's entire watch history, search queries, and even the time of day and device they are using to offer the most relevant video. Co-viewing. Videos that are frequently watched together are recommended as suggested videos. The sidebar up next list, creating binge-watching opportunities. This focus on personalized recommendations and viewer satisfaction created immense channel growth opportunities for creators who mastered creating content in a cohesive series format. 3.0, the rise of niche content empires, visual. Split screen showing two popular niche creators, one gaming, one beauty education. E.g., a shot of a video game interface next to a person explaining a complex topic. The new algorithm's ability to connect highly specific content with its exact audience facilitated the explosion of niche content empires. YouTube gaming dominance. Gaming became the single largest category on the platform. Creators like PewDiePie, Markiplier, and Jacksepticeye solidified their status as global internet celebrities. The platform proved it could sustain massive subcultures, as watching someone else play a video game became a huge form of entertainment. Vertical content growth. The platform saw massive growth in vertical niches. Beauty and lifestyle. Michelle Phan, Jeffree Star, and others built multi-million-dollar cosmetic and fashion brands directly from their YouTube channels. Educational science, edutainment. Channels like Kurzgesagt and Vsauce proved that complex, intellectual topics could be made visually stunning and accessible to millions, monetizing education through both ads and merchandise. Vlogging culture. The daily vlog format, popularized by channels like Casey Neistat, showed life in an unfiltered, though often highly edited format, creating deep personal connections with audiences. 4.0, the Great Reckoning. Controversies and policy enforcement, visual. A graphic timeline marking Adpocalypse 2017 and Logan Paul controversy 2018. The platform's massive scale and reliance on user-generated content brought it under intense scrutiny from global media, advertisers, and governments. The years 2017 and 2018 were marked by significant policy changes triggered by controversies. The Adpocalypse 2017. In early 2017, several major advertisers found their ads running on videos promoting hate speech, extremism, and other inappropriate content. This led to a mass advertiser boycott. The reaction: YouTube swiftly implemented stricter brand safety guidelines and ramped up its content ID and moderation efforts. The impact on creators. Thousands of creators whose videos were deemed borderline or controversial saw their ability to run ads demonetized. This was a brutal wake-up call, emphasizing that creators must adhere not only to YouTube's rules, but also to advertiser safety standards. The period became known as the first Adpocalypse. The Logan Paul Aokigahara Incident 2018. At the end of 2017, major YouTuber Logan Paul uploaded a vlog from Japan's Aokigahara forest, known as the Suicide Forest, that showed a dead body. The public outcry. The reaction was fierce and swift, crossing into mainstream news headlines globally. It highlighted the lack of judgment and accountability for mega creators who had built their following outside traditional media constraints. YouTube's response. YouTube was forced to take a public stand, penalizing Paul by removing him from the premium ad network and canceling his original projects. More importantly, it solidified the understanding that certain content could be penalized even if it wasn't strictly illegal, simply due to its moral offensiveness and damage to the platform's reputation. 5.0 Conclusion of Part 3 Visual. A concluding shot of the modern YouTube Studio Analytics dashboard, emphasizing data. The years from 2013 to 2018 transformed YouTube from a chaotic video site into a sophisticated, data-driven content marketplace. The algorithm's shift to watch time and personalization created stability and predictability for the viewer, but introduced immense complexity and volatility for the creator. By 2018, YouTube was no longer just a place to post videos. It was a complex media ecosystem grappling with issues of scale, moderation, and responsibility, a theme that would only intensify in the years that followed. The period from 2019 to 2025 marks a dramatic acceleration in platform evolution, driven less by internal policy and more by fierce external competition and intense global demands for responsibility. By 2019, YouTube was the undisputed king of long-form video. It had survived the copyright wars, navigated the monetization challenges, and mastered the algorithm. But a new threat emerged, a threat from the East, specializing in vertical, short-form, attention-grabbing content, TikTok. This part explores how YouTube responded to this existential challenge with Shorts, how it faced political pressures, and what its focus is as we stand in 2025. 2.0 The Regulatory and Responsibility Reckoning. Visual. Images representing COPPA regulations, news headlines about misinformation, and the YouTube Trust and Safety Team. As YouTube's influence solidified, governments and organizations demanded accountability. The platform was often criticized for prioritizing engagement over safety, especially concerning children and election misinformation. COPPA and children's content, 2019 to 2020. In late 2019, the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, in the U.S. enforced the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, COPPA, on YouTube. The impact. YouTube was forced to pay a record fine and, critically, required all creators to designate whether their content was made for kids. The consequences for creators. Channels marked Made for Kids saw huge restrictions. Personalized ads were removed, slashing ad revenue, comments were disabled, and notifications were limited. This radically changed the economics and features available to channels targeting younger audiences. It was a massive step to protect children's privacy, but forced a painful structural change on the creator economy. The fight against misinformation, 2020 present. The COVID-19 pandemic and the 2020 U.S. elections brought YouTube's role in spreading misinformation under intense scrutiny. Increased moderation. YouTube invested heavily in its trust and safety teams and expanded its automated systems to block videos that promoted harmful health claims or election interference. Authority signals. The platform began prioritizing content from authoritative sources, like news organizations, government health bodies, in search results and recommendations, pushing down smaller, often questionable sources. The result? The constant battle required complex policy updates, often leading to creators feeling unfairly demonetized or censored, known as YouTube jail, but the platform argued it was necessary for societal safety. 3.0 The TikTok Effect. The launch of YouTube Shorts Visual. Comparison graphic of the YouTube Shorts player versus the standard long-form player, emphasizing speed and verticality. The biggest product shift in this era was YouTube's aggressive response to the global phenomenon of TikTok. The platform realized that short-form vertical video was not just a trend, it was a permanent change in digital consumption habits. YouTube Shorts is born, 2020. Initially launched in India in late 2020 and globally rolled out in 2021, YouTube Shorts was the platform's dedicated short-form offering, videos up to 60 seconds. The strategy. YouTube did not want to lose its next generation of creators and viewers to competitors. Shorts were deeply integrated into the main YouTube app, capitalizing on the existing user base and infrastructure. The fund. To incentivize creators to join the platform, YouTube launched the Shorts Fund, a $100 million initiative paid out to creators whose shorts performed well, essentially bootstrapping the short-form creator economy before a proper ad revenue model was implemented. Monetization and integration, 2023. In early 2023, YouTube announced the full monetization of Shorts via the YouTube Partner Program. The revenue model. Unlike the standard 55-45 split, Shorts revenue is pooled and shared based on a complex formula that accounts for music licensing. Creators are guaranteed a 45% share of the overall ad pool generated from their videos. The hybrid creator. This integration created the modern hybrid creator. Successful creators are now expected to produce long-form videos for deep revenue and retention, mid-form content, VODs, and daily shorts for audience discovery and viral reach. 4.0 Evolution in long-form and product refinements, 2023 to 2025. Visual. A shot of a YouTube live stream interface with Super Chat Super Thanks features highlighted. Even while fighting the short-form war, long-form content was enhanced. Podcasts and audio. YouTube heavily integrated dedicated podcast features into the platform, recognizing that many users consumed long-form educational and interview content in an audio-first, background-listening manner. Creator-viewer interaction. Features like Super Thanks, allowing viewers to tip creators on VODs, enhanced channel memberships with tiered perks, and new live commerce tools deepen the direct revenue streams between creators and their most loyal audiences, making them less reliant solely on ad revenue. Advanced analytics. YouTube Studio continued to evolve, providing creators with hyper-detailed data on when viewers drop off, what thumbnails work, and how their videos are performing in the Shorts feed versus search. Data became the ultimate weapon for success. 5.0 The future 2025 and beyond. Visual, futuristic graphic representing AI tools, virtual reality, and global connectivity. As we conclude our history in 2025, YouTube is focused on three main pillars for the future. AI integration. Further utilizing AI for video editing, automated translations, dubbing videos into new languages automatically, and even more precise recommendation engines. Immersive experiences. Exploring new formats, including enhanced VR integration and 3D video capabilities, to push the boundaries of consumption beyond the flat screen. Global marketplace. Cementing its role as a global e-commerce hub, where creators not only entertain but also sell products directly through embedded shopping features. YouTube has grown from a simple solution to a technical problem into a complex, multi-billion-dollar infrastructure that reflects, and often drives, global politics, commerce, and culture. It has adapted to every challenge, from bandwidth costs to copyright lawsuits, and from advertiser boycotts to generational shifts in consumption. Shorts. 6.0 Final conclusion. Visual. A final montage of iconic YouTube moments from 2005 to 2025, ending with the modern YouTube logo. From the 19 seconds of me at the zoo in 2005 to the constant global stream of billions of hours watched daily in 2025, YouTube's history is a story of continuous adaptation. It's a testament to the power of user-generated content and the simple, enduring desire of people to share their lives, their knowledge, and their laughter with the world. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey. The story of YouTube is far from over. It is being written every second by